So today what we're going to do here is make a raised bed planter, and this is really an easy project to do. It's a great project to do in the summertime, and it doesn't require much effort, and it can be done fairly quickly. What we're going to do here is we're going to use 8x8 boards. So our length is going to be 8 feet, and then we're also going to use 4x4s. We're going to have one 4x4 in the middle and then one at each end to hold the 8-foot boards together. And you can see here, I already started doing this. It's basically a rectangle, and the 8x8 boards, they get screwed into the 4x4 posts here, as you can see. I just screwed them right in, and then the ends of the boards here just go ahead and butt up together. So there's no special cuts, and you can see here down the middle, I went ahead and screwed those boards right into the 4x4, and then here at the ends as well. Now what I do is I took a piece of wood here, a 4x8, and I went ahead and used a brad nailer here to just cover up those screw holes so it looks a little neat at the corners. And then at the top I have a 4x8 board, which I'm going to use for the edge, and that's what I'm doing right here. I glued it, and again I used a brad nailer and just nailed it, you know, to make sure it's secure. If you don't have a brad nailer, you could just use regular nails and a hammer. It's gonna basically accomplish the same thing. And as you can see, this is what it looks like. It looks a lot better with the edge. A lot of people don't use the edge. I think it's nice, especially if you have kids and they can place things on the edge. So you can see this 4x4 post is a little bit longer than the actual raised planter, but that's going to go into the ground. It's going to become apparent why I did that. Again, I used all straight cuts, no angles. I nailed some pieces here at the ends to hide the screws, and basically all I used was the glue and some deck screws. So what I ended up doing also is integrating a trellis into this. I had some 4x8 boards left, so I went ahead and notched it, and then basically all I did was nailed it into the 4x4 post. And then at the top here we have a, I believe it's a 1.5x8, and again I got all my boards at 8-foot lengths, so I wouldn't have to cut anything, so they'd be already ready to use. Obviously I had to cut the end boards, but that's the only thing I had to do. And you can see I went ahead and put another horizontal piece of wood here for the trellis. Again, I believe this is a 1.5x8 foot, and I just nailed it to the back. And I did this because I wanted a trellis for, you know, vegetables that have a vine like beans or tomatoes or whatever. I figured I might as well integrate a trellis into this if I had the wood. This project right now cost me about $110 with all the materials. I'm using pressure treated wood, but you can use cedar as well. And the thing is, with pressure treated wood, it's not going to harm your vegetables. They don't use arsenic anymore, so it's actually really safe to use for a raised garden bed. It's not going to cause you any problems. If you have the chance and you can afford to use the cedar, go ahead and do that, but pressure treated wood is just fine. And then what I did here is I dug around where the posts were going to be. So the posts is the reason why I made them a little bit longer, and it's so that they go into that little hole there and they don't move. And what I did is I put some rocks at the bottom and around the posts for drainage, so there's not all kinds of water sitting there, especially on the bottom of the post. And then here we have our garden weed control barrier, and then on top I have some leaves, and basically it's compost that I'm putting on here. The problem with this sometimes is people tell you, oh yeah, I made a planter for 60 bucks, but you got to take into account that the soil costs money as well if you don't have it. Luckily I had some compost and I had some soil from that, and that's what I used. Leaves at the bottom, and then I used the best soil on top. And here you can see on the trellis I used some bamboo sticks, and again that's going to be for any vegetable that, you know, is a viney vegetable. And I figured why not use some of the wood and just make a trellis instead of just making a plain box. And here you have the completed project. I mean, this is very easy. This is something that anybody can do in the summertime, and it's something that you'll enjoy for the summer to plant vegetables. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you got some ideas out of it. And if you liked it, please subscribe to my channel. And thank you very much for watching. Thank you.